know I haven't filmed a video in like 6 months. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're going to be doing some DIY mason jar lanterns, and I actually found one of these at Urban Outfitters. This is where I got the idea to do them, and it was kind of expensive, and I was like, hey, I can make that. So guess what? We're going to make it. It's like a Twitter hashtag, and it's like Urban Outfitters be like, and it's like full of like hilarious things. I'll put some like in the video so you can see them and laugh like I did. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started with this fun craft. So for this project, you're going to need a plain mason jar that you can paint on. So try to get one with no words on it or anything like that, because that's going to mess up your paint job. For the paint that I'm using, I'm going to use this Folk Art multi-surface paint in white. And just make sure that your paint can go on glass. I got this teeny tiny little paintbrush. I tried at first to use kind of like a little bit thicker of a paintbrush, and it makes it so hard to do details. So just get the smallest paintbrush that you can. And then for the inside, you're gonna use this little like tea light, or you could get an electric candle, whatever you want. Sorry, I'm not even in the frame. And then you just need some bendy wire like this, where kind of like a slinky. Ooh. Anyway, another type of wire that you could use comes from like the inside of like an electrical cord. So there's like copper, and then there's like this like bendy stuff that's like covered in plastic. I don't know, it's really weird. I don't really like the plastic stuff because it's kind of thicker, and I think the thinner the wire is, the better. The last thing you're gonna need is a pair of pliers that can also cut wire, and that's all you need for this project. So let's get crafting. Make a little loop by like twisting it, you know, and like make a little loop and make it pretty tight. And so let me show you. Once you have this little loop, hold on, I'll make it look a little prettier. Get yourself a nice pretty loop, and then take the, got all bent. Okay. Take the wire and wrap it around the jar halfway, and then bend it up so it looks like that. And like make sure it's gonna be really tight. Otherwise your lantern is gonna like fall and shatter, and that's gonna be awful. You're gonna cut your wire. So just take your wire cutters and don't cut too much off, because you're gonna have to make a loop. So then put it like that, and then we're gonna make a loop on this end that we just cut. Like that. And it fits perfectly around the jar. Make sure it's tight, as I said before. Then we're gonna take some more wire, and we are going to make another loop. Don't close it all the way, because you're gonna have to slip it through that first loop that you made. So once you make your new loop, don't close it all the way. Slip it through one of the loops on the other thing, and then close that loop up. And you take this wire and wrap it around until it meets the other loop. Can you see what I am doing at all? Alright, and then bend it up. Oh my god. Cut like right there. This must be the worst tutorial in the world. Anyway, so you're gonna cut it. So now you have a little thing, looks like this. So then all you're gonna do is slip that through there, slip like that through there, and then put it around your jar. Take your needle nose pliers and make that final loop to close this sucker off. You will have this. Whoa, so cool, right? Yeah, honestly, it's kind of more wiggle room than I would like, but you know what? Nobody's perfect. So if you want, you can go back and tighten the loops up, which is definitely what I'm gonna do just to make it extra secure. For the handle, you're gonna take your wire again and make another loop. It's crazy. And again, don't completely like end it, because then you're gonna take it through and put it through the loop that's like sticking out more. Put it through that one that's sticking out more. Do that. Do you see that? Do you see that? Okay. And then finish off that loop. Can you see me? Oh, you can't kind of. Okay, good. So finish off your loop. And then make a handle whatever size you want. Just, you know, wrap it around. And then, do you think that's a good size? I think it is. So then you cut where you want your other loop to be. Okay, so then you cut where your other loop to be, and then guess what you do? You make a loop to finish it off, so. Take your pliers and make a loop, but don't close it, because then you're gonna have to put it through the other loop. That is sticking out. Perfect place to put it, yes. Oh my gosh, fabulous. And then you wanna close that loop, and then you wanna close that final loop, and make sure that all your loops are tight, and that the wire is pretty tight to the jar, so you can be sure that this lantern is gonna stay, you know? By the way, I got this jar for $1, so I think that's pretty great. But make sure you peel the sticker off on the bottom too. Don't want that ruining your lantern. So anyway, this is what you should get when you're all finished looping and whatnot with your wire. And honestly, you can swing it around. Like, let me just show you how sturdy this is. Like, wow. And this wire is like pretty bendy, but the copper, I don't have it right now. The copper would be a little less bendy, so maybe you should go with that. All right, so here is where you can let your creativity shine. And so just get something to put your paint on. I got part of a Lucky Charms box. So then just squeeze it out like so. And this paint is like acrylic paint pretty much, so it's really easy to use. And then I'm going to be pretty much following the design from the Urban Outfitters little jar. So we're gonna see if I can recreate that a little bit, and I will talk to you in a second. So I went ahead and painted my jar, and this is how it came out. And yes, it is not the neatest paint job in the world. I think it would be a lot easier to do this if you had a paint marker, and I didn't think of that before, so I really wish I had gotten one of those. But this is just with my little paintbrush. And so the last step is to put the tea light in your lantern, and I'm going to be hot gluing it there. Otherwise, when you have it in there, see, it just rolls around, and that's not fun. Okay, so I have my hot glue gun all warmed up on Kim Kardashian's boobies, and I'm going to be putting a little, well actually a pretty good amount of hot glue onto the bottom of the tea light. And then, whoops, then I'm going to be taking a pair of tongs, just so I can see the tongs and the hot glue. I'm going to be placing it inside the mason jar exactly where I want it. I figured it'd be easier to use a pair of tongs to place the tea light in there because my hand cannot fit in this jar. And now our lantern is all done with the candle inside, looking all cute, and I'm so excited to light these up tonight. So this lantern I designed as the dupe for the Urban Outfitters jar. And this next one, I decided to kind of be inspired by bandanas and the patterns they have. So I put some paisley print and flowers on them. And in this lantern, I was totally trying to recreate the one in Tangled, which is one of my favorite Disney movies. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. And I think it's so cute. And honestly, this one is my favorite. This last one, I was inspired by the Moroccan lantern.
I'm bringing sexy back. Yeah. The mother boys don't know how to act. Yeah. I think it's special what's behind your back. Yeah. So turn around and I'll pick up the slack. Yeah. Just